Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 6 of Europa Universalis 4, and we are playing as the Iroquois. Now, in the last few videos we had a little bit of an issue that I was trying to resolve, and if you haven't seen those previous videos I suggest you go and watch them first before watching this one because it makes sense. But a quick recap in the problem that we had is we joined a federation, which is something you can do as a Native American tribe, and the leader of our federation was Choctaw. Now, if we actually look here, we are still in the federation. The federation is led by Choctaw, and we are in it along with Wichita. Now, the problem is Choctaw became fully annexed by Chickasaw. Now, what should have happened at this point is the Federation should have either dissolved or it should have gone to one of the other members, but it did not. So the problem is, we are in this Federation led by Choctaw, and Choctaw no longer exists. Now, if we look up here at this alert, it says we will soon be dropped from the Federation because Choctaw's opinion of us is only 25. Now, that's because that's the resting sort of baseline opinion. They no longer exist. Even looking at their flag, they are just using the standard rebel flag, and if we try and go to Choctaw to speak to them, it just brings up our own diplomacy screen because Choctaw no longer exist. They're not on the list. This causes us several problems. We can't speak to them, which means we can't leave the Federation. Another way to join the Federation would be if Choctaw's leader died, but of course Choctaw no longer exist, so their leader isn't going to die. So I've tried to find a console command to forcibly leave a federation, wasn't able to find one. So we're going to have to be a little bit creative and do it in a slightly different way. And the way that we're going to do it, I'm going to do it through some console commands. This is one of the reasons why I don't play the game on Iron Man, in case little bugs like this happen. It may not be a major thing, but because we're stuck in this federation, we can't actually join a different federation or start our own, and I don't particularly like that. So I could have done all of this off camera, but I like to be honest with people about what I'm doing in the game, especially if I have to sort of fiddle around under the hood. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. And it might be something, if you ever come across this issue, that is useful to you. So I'm going to open the console. Not sure what the name of the key is. It's on a British UK keyboard. It's the key above the tab key and to the left of 1. I think on American keyboards it's tilde, but it's a slightly different key on UK keyboards. And what I want to do first of all is I want to switch over to Chickasaw as if I was playing them. So I'm going to use the command tag, because I want to change my country tag, and each country has their own tag. Now, Chickasaw's is just simply CHI. So by doing that, we now switch over, and we are now technically playing as Chickasaw. We're no longer playing as the Iroquois. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go into their diplomacy. I'm going to release a nation and get them to release Choctaw. So we're going to release Choctaw. So Choctaw has now been released. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tag CHO. So we are now playing as Choctaw. And because we're playing as Choctaw, we should be able to kick from Federation. So there we go. We've kicked the Iroquois out of the Federation. What I could have done, I did this in a test because I wanted to make sure it worked, and what I could have done is actually just killed off Choctaw's leader, but there's no need to do that. So what we're going to do now is we are going to basically go tag back to Chickasaw, and we are going to use the command annex Cho. And there we go, we've now fully annexed Choctaw back into Chickasaw, and now finally tag back to the Iroquois, and we are playing as the nation we should be. So now that that is all done, we should no longer be in a federation. We are now free to start our own. So there is one thing that I did miss out last time I was playing. Again, this was before they sort of changed all the CBs and everything. We do still have a rival, which is Huron, and what we should do is find a way to attack them again when we're a little bit stronger, because if you actually take a humiliation CB against your rival, instead of humiliating them, there is a victory condition called Show Strength, which you can only take at 100% war score, and basically it gives you a ton of prestige, and it gives you 100 of each monarch point, and I completely didn't know that and missed that last time. So we will be attempting to do that. In the meantime, we need to take a national decision, We can encourage divination. Yeah, we knew about this one. Reduces our unrest, but increases... Well, our stability is pretty cheap anyway, so let's just go ahead and take it. Then we won't have to worry about unrest. We're still short of a Diplo advisor, but we don't really have much money. Let's go and speed things up. We're completely out of manpower. Now we're getting actually invitations into federations. So we don't want to be invited into this guy's federation. Now, who leads this one? So the Cheyenne are leading that federation. Well, we've not been invited into that one. We could be invited into this one that is run by Lenape. Now, which of these ones are the ones that like us? Lenape likes us. We're allied with this guy. You are in a federation with the Shawnee. So we should probably take the one led by the Shawnee. Although these guys are quite small. So we could pick on somebody else. And we've got the Cree over here. Just trying to find potential allies that we could use. So we could join this one by the Shawnee. I think we will, just because we are friendly with these guys. Let's go and join the one by the Shawnee. So that now puts us in a federation with the Shawnee, these guys, Susquehannock, and obviously ourselves. Now, it's saying here that we are in trouble for getting kicked because these guys don't like us very much. We might as well go ahead and offer them alliance because we already have a relationship slot with them for being in the Federation. They've actually declined. They rejected our alliance. Okay, well that's fine. Apparently we have too many diplomatic relations now. We will wait until we have a free diplomat. We'll try and suck up to them again. The question is, why do we have too many diplomatic relations? Too many alliances. Well, I guess we don't need the alliance with Susquehannock now because we are actually in a federation with them. So we can go over here and dissolve the alliance. So what we need to do now is go and improve relations over here with the Shawnee. So we can do that on the 14th of March. And hopefully if we do that, we won't be in any danger of getting kicked out of the alliance. So what we need to try and do now is recover some of our manpower. And maybe go and attack a few people if we can. We only have the one rival. There's nobody else that we can pick. We don't have CBs on any of these guys. At least I don't think we do. You guys feel threatened. You are in an alliance with the Pequot and the Micmac, which I don't believe is particularly worrying because there's the Micmac, there's the Pequot. Yeah, so 3 provinces basically, although between them they do have 26,000 troops, which is a little bit worrying. I've got an extra 4,000 here in the form of my vassal, but they haven't been particularly useful thus far. We're making a tiny bit of money, but it's actually recovering manpower that we really need to do before we can do anything else, which is a little bit of a shame. So yeah, I guess at the moment we just kind of wait. We're not even running another colony where we could be. It might be nice to just actually go and grab Manhattan, to be honest, because it is coastal. It does have 5 development as well. I think we will go ahead and grab that. It'll cost us a fair bit of money to do, but I think it is worth it. We are going to go and repay off some of these loans. It will help to reduce our monthly outgoings. It does take quite some time to actually get our colonies going, but having something coastal will be really good for us, I think, and we're also starting to engulf Lenape here as well. So we're not in a federation with Lenape. We really want to try and do something against them if we can. We're improving our relations with Abenaki. We don't really need to do that. Let's go and bring you back and see if we do actually have any reason to declare war here. I mean, we could do a no CB war if we wanted to. There's no reason why we can't do a no CB war. We could do a no CB war and literally take 3 provinces here. Our stability cost is pretty cheap. But we want to try and take one of these things so we can reduce our stability cost even more. We don't need to reduce our national unrest. So let's go ahead and reduce our stability cost even more. And then what we can do here is we can do a no CB war. Obviously I want to make sure that I've got enough troops to be able to fight this war before we go ahead with that. But we can literally take... Well, we wouldn't be able to call the Micmac, but we might be able to do it. A diplomat from Huron has been discovered building a spy network with us. Okay, that is fine. And again, I'd love to be able to go and take them out later on, but I just need to be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. We are only gaining 104 manpower each month. We need like over 3,000 to fully reinforce. We're barely making any money at all at the moment because we have that colony running, which is a little bit of a shame. Let's have a quick look and see if we are... Well, we do have some army maintenance up. Let's go ahead and we might as well put it right down at the moment. Try and gain some money. Now, are there any buildings that we could build to try and get some money anywhere? I know we can't really afford anything at the moment. But it would be nice if we could get some more longhouses in a few of these places. So we'll go up to speed 4. We will attempt to see if we can get this alliance with the Shawnee now. They're actually still neutral towards us, which I'm not sure why. We have gained a forced migration CB against Miami. Okay, let's just pause up there. And we have lost the forced migration CB against Miami, because that's just really random how that happens. Let's try once again, and this is actually getting bigger now, this thing. Lenape is actually in this one. Lenape, Abenaki. So you're Lenape. You are allied with the Micmac and the Pequot, so we could attack them. We would need to attack one of the others. That wouldn't then bring in the... Yeah, if we just went on and attacked the Pequot, that would bring in... Don't know whether or not it would bring Lenape in. Yeah, Lenape would come in and the Micmac. We could probably handle that if we really wanted to. Again, let's go and try and offer this alliance and see if they will accept. It's saying that they will. Yep, they have accepted. So we've got that alliance there, so that's good. We will carry on trying to improve our relations with them if possible. What have we got here? We have found common grounds with one of our neighbours in the fact that we share the same faith. Our relations have improved and this can only be good for the future. So Lenape's opinion of us is changed by +30. So even if we can just like nick this province from the Pequot, then I'll be happy with that. We could try and take Lenape. I'm not too sure how that would fare as they are part of the Federation. But they would come in on the opposition side, which is a little bit weird. But again, until we've actually got some manpower, there's not an awful lot that we can do. Oh, we're not reinforcing at all at the moment, are we? That's the problem. That's why we're losing a lot of money, because we were reinforcing. We do need to have a tiny little bit of maintenance. I mean, it barely needs to be off the ground. It just needs to be enough to make sure that some of the manpower does actually reach the front line. So we're only getting 18 men each month. Well, that's not really very good, is it? We need to fine-tune that slightly. But yeah, we're making next to no money at all. How many loans do we have? You have enough money to repay all of your loans. Looks like we've only got the one. Let's go ahead and repay it, because that instantly means we're now making more money. And it reduces our inflation rate, so we definitely want to get that done. We can't really afford to hire mercenaries or anything like that, so what we could do is we could spend a few admin points on development and actually try and get some more ducats out of some of these provinces. So we could go ahead and spend another one in there. Just anything we can to try and get a little bit more money out of these provinces. 0.45 ducats per month is still not fantastic, but we'll do what we can. Bear in mind, of course, if we do go to war, we will take some spoils of war, so that will actually help us out. So we'll keep improving relations there up as high as we can. And let's have a quick look around on the coast. Can't see any of the the Western Europeans over here yet, which, you know, I wouldn't expect them this early, but it's always worth having a look. We'll recall our diplomat from there, because there's not much else we can do. We will go and start building a spy network over here. Now, it is worth having a spy network against your rival, even if you can't fabricate claims, because if you actually have a spy network, it increases your siege speed based on the size of your spy network. So that is definitely a useful thing. We have a missionary available, but I think all provinces are the correct religion, so we don't have to worry about that anytime soon. There's no coalition against us because we don't really have any aggressive expansion or anything at all. How are we doing down here? We've finished the diplomatic ideas. We'll soon be able to finish military ideas. That won't take too long. Conflicts sometimes erupt following diplomatic insults. So we can get a diplomatic insult CB on Pequot or their opinion of us. We'll take the CB actually, because then we don't have to do a no CB war. So just before we go ahead and do anything else, let's just have a quick look and see. Yeah, we're on the same tech. So we've actually got a CB against you now. Oddly enough, the Shawnee... Oh, the Shawnee are on my side, but they wouldn't come in. Lenape would come in and the Micmac would come in. Lenape have got 9,000 troops, 7,000 troops, so that's 16,000. So when you count the Micmac as well... they do, unfortunately, outnumber me right now. Now, how many units do we actually have here in total? Lost of migration, CB, or instantly gained, instantly lost. So these things don't really show you very well what you've got. So we've got 9,000 troops here. Our truce with Pawnee and Huron has ended. So there go all of our truces. So we've got 9,000 there, we've got 8,000 there. So in total we've only got 16,000 men. We've got our CB back against the Huron, but we're really not in a position to be able to do that. What is our force limit? Our force limit is actually 20. And we should definitely consider building up to that. It is a problem not having the manpower, but we are gaining some manpower each month. So let's go ahead and make sure that we are spending... a little bit, just to make sure we get the extra ones. I'm not making any money at all here. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find out why. We do have a new unit now, which is partly the problem. Let's just put that maintenance down again, even slightly. I just want to be making some money. We already have our colonial maintenance reduced. So, you know, we're completely reliant on the... colony to just sort of get random colonial pops. Truce with Ottawa has ended. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got over 1,000 men as well, so let's go ahead and build these up. We need as many men as possible, but if we can go in here and jump straight on Lenape and get them killed, I mean they are in the hills, which is a little bit of a pain, but if we can go ahead and jump on them quite quickly, or even come over here and jump in with our ally, or with our vassal, we may be in a good position to take out one of them before they can get all of their troops together. So that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. So our truce has ended with the Susquehannock, which we got for breaking the alliance, but that's fine because they are part of the Federation. So we are still making a tiny little bit of money. That'll all go away when we put our... maintenance up to go and declare this war. I'm not too sure how long that CB lasts, actually. Has it gone away already? It has gone away already. We've already lost that CB. But we do have the forced migration. Not too sure whether or not we can capture it with the forced migration, but we'll have a look. Too many military leaders, because we've lost some power projection. That's fine. We can go ahead and send an insult to Huron. That puts us back up. And we should be able to... No, we already have an embargo with them. So that solved that problem anyway. So we just need to get up to 10 ducats and another 1,000 manpower. We instantly just lose 4.7 ducats. So that's going to be a little while. You guys are moving around, which I don't mind you doing too much. So we've got the manpower now. We still haven't fully reinforced all of our stacks. We are getting there. Still waiting a little bit on this one. So how many do we need to fully reinforce? We still need another 370 men. Only 18 will reach our armies this month. And again, that's because we have our maintenance so low. How long is it going to take for this colony? It's about a quarter of the way there. It'd be quite nice when we, yeah, resources depleted by migrants, so local tax modifier is reduced, which is a little bit of a shame. That's for a fair few years as well. So this is one problem with all of these little single province tribes moving around, is they do deplete the wealth in these provinces. So that's a little bit of a problem. However, I'm not too bothered by that. I think we should be okay. Manpower is doing good. We've almost fully reinforced your armies. You need 305 men. We could just go ahead and just bump that the maintenance right up until we're fully reinforced. Well, not right up, but bump it up considerably until we are fully reinforced. So what do we have here? We've got a little event that we can deal with just before we end the video. Ambassadors and diplomatic envoys often double as spies, or at least informants who go beyond their duties to gather information in the country where they are supposed to do honest negotiations. This makes it less than surprising that an ambassador here in Onondaga has been suspected of involvement in espionage. The challenge now lies in tactfully handling this discovery, since only through cross-examination could ascertain guilt. We must get to the bottom of this and arrest the ambassador. So Shawnee's opinion of us goes down by -30, and it adds -10% to the spy network in the Iroquois. Send a request for him to replace, lose 20 Diplo power, or just try to cut him off from important affairs. 50% chance to attend to the spy network, which I'm not all that bothered about, so we'll just go ahead and choose that option. But I think that is a good place to end the video, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4. I'm sorry this video has been a little bit slower. We are obviously quite clearly waiting for some money and manpower to come in before we can go and declare our next war. But I will see you guys on the next video, so until then, goodbye for now.